A number of Canadians during the pandemic have been glued to their TV watching the impeachment trial in the United States. Fascinated by it. All kinds of legal arguments, whether they can do it or they can't do it, who's going to win, who's not going to win. But the lawyers are themselves on trial. And the former president's first lawyer gave his opening remarks, and most people thought it was terrible. Bob Ramsay is in Toronto. He was watching. He is a Canadian communications expert. He joins me right now. And so you saw that. What was your view as to this lawyer standing up there trying to wax eloquent?
Well, not being a lawyer,
That's to your advantage.
Right. It worked to my advantage, but it worked to my confusion as well. Because I thought, well, maybe he's really good and he's just speaking a kind of English that we non-lawyers just simply don't have the skills to understand. Then,
how long did you keep that thought?
I kept that thought for about 4 or 5 minutes. I was like so many people doing other things as I was passively listening to him.
Right.
But then it shifted to, oh, this is one of those fake country lawyers who loves telling stories, but is actually winding to a great conclusion that will just transform our view.
Southern senators.
Southern senators. Yes. Exactly, and it comes from a grand old American tradition. And then I thought, no, because I don't understand a single word he's saying. 10 minutes in, like, what's the story? He can't even tell a simple narrative, right? And by the time he sat down, not to thunderous applause on the part of the Republicans, but total silence, I thought, gee, I'm gonna learn what this really means when the New York Times translates it for me. And I clicked on, because of course you get it immediately now, and they said, this is the worst political speech ever given in the Senate.
And I understand that there's a former president who agrees with you on that. Someone said on the scale from 1 to 10, he was 9, just about blowing his top.
Well, and the one thing we do know, because we're not quite sure what he said, we do know that he's not going to be paid.
Well, even if he'd done well, there may have been a question of payment, the way that president dealt with things. Right. So what does that say about communication and lawyers and politicians? What's a general advice? You have to have some theme, I guess, that you can translate.
Well, when you compare Bruce Castor to the Democrats who've spoken for the last 2 days, who are crisp and clear and even and prepared and emotional and articulate and engaging and connective, it's a completely different field.
Communications is everything. Bob Ramsay, thank you. 3 minutes. In these days of big government and reduced liberties and big spending and paid media, it's even more important that we have independent voices such as this, people coming on talking about the issues. At the very start of this production, we had some very generous donors. That's run out. I don't get paid. I want to put the message out there. However, the equipment, the crew does cost money. So if you want to help us keep on going with this thing, you can please send a donation. The address is below. Or if you want to sponsor this and have your name across, also contact us, because we want to keep going and have an independent voice. Thanks.